Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here with Andre, and we have a very special TFL car talk for you, and that is future collectibles based on modern vehicles.
That's right. So Nathan, what makes a collectible?
Well, first of all, that is a collectible. This old Bronco, which is going away really soon, by the way. It was recently sold.
It's sold, yeah.
Yeah, but it is considered a collectible. And what makes a collectible is the fact that there aren't that many left on the road. This particular one is not molested. It hasn't really been chopped or cut or anything or modified. And, you know, there are various levels of being collectible, and this one is at the higher end because it is pretty much stock. And then you have guys who completely go and redo the vehicles, and as such, they become less collectible. And, of course, numbers. The less a vehicle, the more collectible.
And I think the other points are power.
Yes.
You know, you have to have high-powered vehicle.
It helps.
Preferably two doors.
Yep.
And topless. That helps.
Well.
That helps sometimes, right?
Absolutely. So, without any delay, here we go.
Top 5. So number 5.
Yep.
The 2016 Jaguar F-Type R all-wheel drive convertible.
That's a mouthful. That's a lot of tech, though, for a vehicle. And what hopefully would make it collectible is the fact that it's ridiculously good looking. It sounds amazing. It is really fast. It has all-wheel drive. It has...
It's topless. You can get a topless one.
Oh.
And they don't build a lot of them.
No, they don't. It's a somewhat limited run. So we feel that that will be definitely a collectible vehicle, and it could be in as little as 20 years.
And I think the sound the car makes is amazing.
I agree on this one, for sure. Now, this is one that some of you may or may not agree with us, and that's the number 4.
Is Alfa Romeo 4C.
Now, we both had an opportunity to drive the vehicle at a track event and on the roads in Northern California, and it's fantastic. I consider it a baby Ferrari, and not everybody disagrees with that. However, there are some people out there who say, you know, it doesn't really smack of a vehicle that's going to be very collectible. I believe that in North America, it will be collectible.
Do you know how many they made this year?
No, how many?
606.
606.
Over 11 months.
That's a very small amount. Now, even if they increase their production, I feel that that vehicle will obtain collector status in a very short amount of time, maybe even as little as 10 years, because that vehicle will not be produced for that long.
And it has, you know, the elements of high performance, two doors. You can take the top off, you know, there's a roadster version of it. So I think it has the elements and also the sound, right?
It's amazing, yeah.
So,
and it truly is a vehicle that competes with Porsche and some of the other, you know, higher end vehicles up there. So number 3, now this is one that you guys may have noticed.
Yes, so number 3, the Challenger Hellcat. We have an example right here.
We certainly do. Now, the Challenger Hellcat is one of those that's, I don't fully agree that it's going to be that collectible anytime soon because the numbers are pretty big. But so many people have been crashing them. So many of these vehicles have been running into walls and off of you know, trees and you name it.
Right.
Yeah, that I think that numbers may dwindle a bit. But yeah, if they maintain high production, then this will be not as collectible as some of the other vehicles it goes up against.
Yeah, that's true. And FCA doesn't really report the number of Hellcats they sell. Maybe, you know, we can inquire again and again and again, and maybe we'll get that number. But there's a lot of them produced, but people modify them. They increase the horsepower. They crash them
all the time.
So. But it's got the power and the cachet, I think, of being a future collectible.
Yeah, and the question, of course, is, well, what about the Charger? Is that collectible as well? And I don't think quite as much, frankly. I think this is sexier. It is a two-door, and, you know, I think that this would be the collectible out of the two of them. The question, of course, is, will that happen? Now, I have no doubt about number 2.
Number 2, the Acura NSX, the 2017.
Yes, yes. Guys, first of all, you should know, Roman used to have an NSX, so he has a real close tie to that vehicle. And I personally believe that Acura has really knocked it out of the park by making a vehicle that has all the tech nearly at the same level as the P1 and the LaFerrari and the Porsche 918 in a much more affordable package, building a supercar, a dream car, and built in limited numbers.
So we haven't had a chance to drive it yet, right? But that's hopefully coming very soon.
Hopefully.
All the cars on the list are the cars that we have either driven or will drive hopefully very shortly.
Yeah, that's correct. And so that brings us to number one. The Ford
Can I
GT.
say one more thing about the NSX, though?
Okay, one more thing.
So first of all, it hasn't reached production yet. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And I think the first reports are the car is too heavy, right? It's got so much technology packed into it. So I have some doubts. I mean, yes, it's a cool concept, cool technology, cool car, but I still have doubts about how desirable that car will be.
And I don't. I mean, I understand your point, but I think that they will sell every single one they make very quickly. I think Jerry Seinfeld will have like half the fleet.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, you might be right, and maybe that'll take away a little bit of the shine off of that vehicle. I think it's sexy. It's the best-looking Japanese car ever made, and it should be one of the fastest Acuras ever. Now, let's go to number one.
Number one, I'm not going to fight you on this one. The Ford GT.
Hell yeah.
The new one. The new one.
The new Ford GT. Well, even the old ones, right?
Oh, even the old one. Is even already collectible.
The new one represents a lot of high-end tech, and at the same time, it's one of the best-looking cars I've ever seen Ford make. Period. It's just an amazing car. It will be made in small numbers. It will be super high performance. And it will be a vehicle that hopefully at least one of us, Roman, will be allowed to drive at some point in time.
Yes.
As such, it sort of fits the whole barrel of vehicles we've put in there.
Yes.
That's the main one that pops up to the top.
It really floored me the first time we saw it in Detroit. The lines on that car, and it looks good in every color we've seen.
Yeah, we've seen it in yellow,
blue, silver.
Yeah.
Just a spectacular car.
Incredible, good-looking car that has performance numbers potentially that'll absolutely knock you down. And of course, the other thing is that it is a vehicle that will be made in limited numbers. Now, we have one final part of this whole thing, and that is a bonus.
Yeah, bonus, which is kind of a question, really.
Yes, it is.
So the new 2017 Fiat 124 Spider was just unveiled in Los Angeles. Very recently.
And it looks better in person, by the way, than it does on photograph. I absolutely think it's an awesome-looking car.
I agree. And the interior looks great.
Yes.
So there's a rumor of the Abarth version coming.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
a higher performance roadster. So I think that could be potentially a collectible as well.
The rumor is that they're going to take the engine out of the 4C, the Alfa Romeo 4C, and shove it into the 124, which is like awesome. And then they're going to put bigger tires and wheels and all this other stuff and make it into a real beast. So if they do that and if they build it in limited numbers, it would be another one that I feel would qualify as a future collectible.
Yeah, really hoping to drive that one.
Oh God, yes. In every form. Thank you so much for joining us for the Fast Lane Car.
This is Andre.
And Nathan. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to go to tflcar.com for news, views, and real-world reviews. Adios.
All right, guys, it's me and Jeff in a bare-knuckle cage fight drag race in the two minivans. Jeff, are you ready? It's Wednesday. That means it must be a midweek mashup, and today we've got family haulers. The Toyota Sienna and the Honda Odyssey. And coming up right now in the Fast Lane Car, we're going to take these through a series of tests to see which one is a better buy.